Hello everyone, and welcome to Stamp with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Today's class is we're going to make 3 cards, and I am featuring the Lovely Arrangements bundle from the January 26 online exclusives. Fabulous bundle. You need to have this bundle. And I've also brought in, I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I've also brought in the banner sayings bundle. And that is the greetings with the banner punch. So we may or may not be using that bundle, but I just brought it in just in case I wanted that. All right, we are going to get started. Grab my scoring board. Oh, I should tell you, the inks we're going to be using today are Memento Black, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, and Granny Apple Green. Weird combination, but we're doing 3 cards, so that's why you see those strange combinations. So we're going to score our card base at 4 1/4. And then we are going to burnish that score flat. All right, now I have a piece of basic white. Basic white that is going to go on the inside of our card so that we have a nice place to write our greeting. And that one is 4 by 5 1/4. All right, next up we are going to, I guess I'm not as prepared as I thought I was. I need to bring in my embossing machine because, actually for this card I don't. This card we are not going to emboss this one. We are just going to do some stamping and add some pretty paper. So this one I am going to put the greeting thank you or hello friend. Which one do I want? They're both so good. I think maybe hello friend this time. Hello friend. All right. And we are going to stamp this greeting in, pick that up, and somewhere here, not sure where I put it, I have a stamping mat. Bear with me just a second until I can see what I'm doing. Now I found my piercing mat. Well, I just used it. What did I do with it? All right, I guess we're stamping without it because I don't know what I did with it. All right, we are going to use Memento Black ink for this one. I want to get this well inked because I'm stamping with a block, not my stamping platform. good. All right. So that says hello friend. And now I have pre-cut some strips of DSP. And in case you're wondering, this is from the new online exclusive Painted Illusions DSP pack. All my cards today are featuring that DSP. So the DSP strips are 1x4 and the cardstock is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Just so we have a nice little mat. There we go, and our last one. And this product of the month DSP is $5 during the month of February with a $100 order. So a steal of a deal. Now, these strips, we can put them on crooked, we can put them on straight. I'm going to opt for straight for this card. This is a fabulous way to use up your leftover DSP strips. And how I like to put these on is I put the outside ones on first and try to match my borders. And then I will center the middle one. Okay, so this is just going to be a little backdrop for our card. There we go. Now I have cut a little piece of, let me show you if I can find it here, this die. I just cut that little piece, and I'm going to cut off these little jagged edges or try to round them out. I just wanted another little backdrop for my flower. All right, so we have this little piece. I've pre-stamped some leaves and I've pre-stamped a flower, but I haven't colored it yet. So we are going to find my petal pink blends, and first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add some darker areas down towards the base and maybe up the sides of each petal. And we'll do that center part dark. And as you can tell, there's really no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here. I'm just getting some darker color laid down. And then I'm going to follow with the light petal pink. This is, there we go. And I'm going to go up almost to the tips, but I'm going to leave some white space up close to the very tips of the flowers. There we go. That, my friends, is our flower. Now, I am going to put my, you know what? I'm going to do something that's unheard of. I'm going to, well, not unheard of, but that I don't do very often. I am going to cut out one of the leaves. On this card, I just want 2 leaves. I'm going to have to trim up a little bit right here because we have too much white space, because when I put it in my die cutting machine, it must have moved a little bit and I didn't notice it. So I'm just going to trim it up a little wee bit with my snips, so it's not quite so stark. There, that's what I was going for. All right, I'm going to take a little piece of tape and tape that on the back side, so I have 1 unit to work with. And I think, nope, I think I like it this way better. I think I'm going to use some dimensionals on this piece. And I'm going to glue this piece flat. Now, I'm going to put this a little kitty wampus on purpose. I'm trying to think, do I want it centered? I don't think so. I think, there, we're committed now. All right, let's see what I've got for ribbon. In Lost Lagoon or Petal Pink. Doesn't look good, my friends. Does not look good. Let's go into the Retired and see what I have. Oh, I have some Lost Lagoon down here. This is the Lost Lagoon called, I don't know, doesn't really tell me anything, but I think I'd like to have a little wee bit of this in behind my flower too, kind of something like that. There we go. So let's get some tear and tape, and we will put a bit to hold this in place. Get a few little strips here. So something like that. And then back up like that. And then my flower will come in. Yep. All right. I'm going to peel this back a little bit. I don't want it to show. So I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Like so, and then we're going to get a dimensional or 2 or 3 and put on the back side of this. That one's going to show. There we go. And then we will pop this right here. There we go. All right, now this is going to go on our card front like so. I have a little fuzzy edge here. My blade must be getting a little dull. So we'll just take that sanding block to it, straighten everything up. We're just going to center this like so. And I'm going to embellish my cards at the end. So that was our first one. Let's clean this up, get a little space here, and I will bring in my second card. And this one is going to be card base in Pretty Peacock. So we're going to score this and burnish it. All right. Now for this card, I am going to emboss. So let me grab my embossing plates. I'm going to want that plate, and possibly those two plates, depending on which folder I choose. And I think I'm going to try the Paradise Garden hybrid one. So I'm just going to need the gray plate. All right, let's move this out of the way and bring in the big boss. And we will get this run through our machine. This is a gorgeous folder. I've used this in videos before. It's a new folder. All right, let's have a look. Check out all of that gorgeous texture. It's really, really beautiful. And that's Paradise Garden hybrid folder. Okay, so now we're going to put this card together. So I decided that I was going to mat this on some Granny Apple Green, like so. We will get some adhesive on here, and because it's heavily embossed, I'm going to be a little heavy-handed with the glue. And we're just going to center that on our matte layer. Okay. Next, I have a piece of this gorgeous DSP, and it is 3x3, and it's going on a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of Pretty Peacock. Now, I'll be honest with you, I never ever would have put Pretty Peacock and Granny Apple Green together until I saw this paper. And yes, it's bright, and yes, it's in your face, but I think it's cool. All right, now I cut another one of those little things, and I purposefully left that little tag on there. Now I'm going to cut this apart here, and then I'm going to straighten out my circles as best I can. Actually, I'm going to use the other piece. That way I don't have to. Work smarter, not harder, right? You see why I wanted to leave that other piece? Because I'm going to use this as a little embellishment at the bottom. I'm going to cut this circle, and I'm going to cut this circle, and then I can glue that on there and have a cute little embellishment at the bottom. So these don't have to be elements, they can be embellishments too. And I'm just going to hold this in place and center my card on there, or my square on there. So there we have it. Isn't that cool? Super cool. Now I think I'll put this flat. And once again, I went heavy on the glue, and I'm just centering it so that the borders are the same at the top and the sides. And we'll just hold that in place for a minute. There we have it. And now this is going to get, oops, there we see those little jagged edges again. That's telling me it's time to change my blade. I'll have to do that right after the video. And pop this in place. There we go. All right, now I have this little tag, and it's going to get lost on that white. So let's use Pretty Peacock ink for this, and I need a greeting. Now, you see those little marks on that pad? When I went to stamp onto this, it pulled off a little piece of my pad because my pad's too dry. Now, what greeting do I want to use? You are so lovely, just a note, love you. Sending smiles. Let's do sending smiles. Will it fit? Yes, it will. All right. Give me a block. And we'll get this inked up and hopefully not get any of those pieces. Oh, this is looking better. All right. And I'm just going to try to get that in the middle. Give that a moment. There we go. Sending smiles. Now, that white to me gets lost. White on white gets lost. Let's see what I have. Oops, I have this. I think I'm going to cut this down and mat it. Let me get my mini paper trimmer. And we'll bring that in. How wide is that? That is just over 1/2 inch. So let's do this 3/4. See what it looks like. Well, obviously I didn't measure that very well. Let's see if we can get another piece. Where is my scrap? We have another piece. So let's take off a chunk to start with. And obviously it's more than 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go to 7/8 and see how that works out for me. Much better. And the length of this is 2.5, so or 2 3/4. So I will go 3, and this should be perfect. I'm happy with that. All right, let's just push all that stuff out of the way, and we will carry on. I'm going to add some adhesive and put this on our mat, centered, and then that can go flat right there. See how that pops now? Doesn't get lost. Sending smiles, and I'll just center that underneath. There we go. All right, now we need to move on to our flower. And I think I'm going to do the same trick because, as I said, this one here messed up when I inked it. I need to re-ink my pad. So I'm going to cut out that center leaf and get rid of it because it's not perfect. And we need to color this flower. I just don't know what color to color it. I want to go red, like a strawberry slush is what I'd like to do. Or a poppy, because this is such a bright and colorful card. Let's grab poppy. I want to do it. I really do. Might be a mistake, but I'm just going to trace those lines that the artist put in the stamp. And maybe I'll go green, granny apple green, if I can find it. Old olive, granny apple green. If you could see my desk. It is a mess. I've got markers everywhere. There. Now we need Poppy Parade Light. And we'll see how this turns out. I'm being honest, I don't like it. I'm going back to the dark because I really want it to be rich. And let's be honest, doing 3 cards in one video, you don't want to see me sit here and layer and layer and layer color to get depth and definition. You just want to see the end card. Because I know I wouldn't want to sit there and watch somebody color for 20 minutes on one flower. Would it be beautiful? Yes. But it would be very time consuming. So we're going with the quick and easy today, friends, because that's what these cards are all about. Using up scraps and quick and easy. There we go. Now look at the pop. Was I right or was I right to go with red? Tell me in the comments what you think of the red. I am going to pop that right there. No, I'm going to put it in the middle. Once again, I'm going to grab a piece of tape and tape my leaves on. So I don't have to worry about them. They can just be one unit. There we go. We'll grab a dimensional or two or three. We're going to cut this one. A whole one can go there. We'll just add that other little piece there. And I'll grab my pick tool. I absolutely love this hook attachment. My favorite tool for the take your pick tool. All right, and I'm just going to pop that on like that. And we need a piece of white for the inside. Let me grab my paper trimmer. And we're going to go 3 3/4 by 5. And we will get some adhesive on there and pop this on the inside. And once again, I am going to embellish my cards all at the end. All right, there is card number 2. Okay, let's move on to card number 3. Scoreboard. What did I do with it? There we go. It was hiding. 4 1/4. And burnish it flat. There we go. Now, this card, we're going to emboss this panel. And I think I'm going to use the exact same folder, Paradise Garden, because I love it so much. I just absolutely love it. You know how when you get new toys, you just want to play with all your new toys? Well, that, my friends, is a favorite of mine. So, this card, you'll be able to see more of the embossing than you actually do on the last one. So, let's get this out of here. And beautiful. Oops. And I'm going to mat that on a piece of Lost Lagoon. So let's get this on here. Now this is another color combination that I never, ever, ever would have used if not for this paper. All the color choices came from the paper. All right, my card base, Granny Apple Green. And this is going to be a horizontal card. So we are going to oops, another little fuzzy. Center this on here. Okay, there's a little smudge. There we go. All right, we're going to set that aside and we're going to work on this little matte layer. I have 3 1 by 2 inch pieces of the DSP, and we are going to attach these onto this matte layer. And I'm going to do the same over here. And then this one will split the difference. There we go. And how many of these little pieces of DSP do we have in our scrap bins? I'm guessing loads. All right, now I have this piece here, and I think I want to put it kind of like that. Not this, just the scallops showing. I mean, I could do just the scallops, but I've already done that. I want to put the whole strip right there. So in order to do that, I'm going to cut this down here. We'll save this piece for later for another card. And I'll do the corner cutoffs again, so that we don't see it. But this time I want the whole circle to show. So let's get some adhesive on here. Maybe. And then we will pop this on. Just give that a press. Couple more fuzzies. There we go. So that is going to be the backdrop for our flower. So I'm going to add adhesive. And pop this in place. Centered, hopefully. There we go. All right, now we need to work on our flower. Now, this flower, I think I'm going to do it in yellow. I'm not a fan of petal pink, I'll be honest with you. I really am not. So I need to know what shade of yellow that is. Is it daffodil or is it crushed curry? It is darling duckling. All right, I was wrong. All right, that's not them. Let me find darling duckling. All right, I am going to use the other end and quickly color in the petals. All right, pretty quick for this, no shading, easy peasy cards. And if you stick around with me to the end of the video, I will show you 3 more cards using different products, using these same layouts. Now, I think I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green for the center of the flower. Just to bring it all together. All right. Ooh, what happened there? See that? How did I get pink in my flower? It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. We're going with it, my friends. And once again, I think I'm going to cut out the middle flower, or the middle leaf. There we go. Yep. And I just need to pretty this up a little bit because it's a little jagged. Like so. All right, where's my tape? Tape that on the back. We might as well preload this with dimensionals, seeing as we have it here and upside down already. There we go. Pick tool. Where'd you go? There you are. Oops, I almost ripped it off. There we go. So now how do I want it? Do I want the leaves going that way? No, I think they'll go this way. Something like that. Okay. And we need a teeny tiny greeting. So I have die cut the greeting die from this set. Oh, I'm looking for it and it's right in front of me. So it's going to have to be one of these skinny greetings. How about happy birthday? Happy birthday. Give me a block. And I want Memento Black. Let's see if I can hit that little teeny tiny greeting tag. I'm going to pull this way back here so I can see a little bit. Look at that, my friends. Not too shabby. All right. I think I'm going to cut the ends a little bit. I don't want it that long. So we're going to trim those ends down. And then, do I want it across those words or those circles? That might be fun. Or I could put it across the flower. I'm indecisive. Either way works. But I think I'm going to put it across the flower. So I'm going to need to cut a little wee edge piece. To put under the happy. Wow. There we go. And then we'll put adhesive on the other end. Because the flower is raised, so we need it to be at the same level. Maybe if I can get it on here. Happy birthday, just like that. All right, that, my friends, is our third card. Now, I said I was going to wait till the end and embellish them all at the same time. And there's a reason for that. When you cut this die, the leftover bits that you get are these cute, got ink all over me. See these? Those are going to embellish some of our cards. I don't know if it's going to do all of them or not, but it's going to do some of them. Now, I need my pick tool, and we will start by just placing a few of these around. I like it on the yellow, maybe on the pink here, and maybe on the white up here. Yeah, I like that. I might even hit them with a little wink of Stella, or here's an idea, I might also hit them with a little gem in the middle, like a tiny, tiny gem. So there's how you can use this. Heavens. My glue is not coming out very well, is what my problem is, and I don't want to get too much on here. There we go. And we'll put that one up there. Come on. And then this one on the yellow. Now I think I might find a wee gem to put in the middle. Current embellishments. Let me get these. We should have a little rhinestone. Basic rhinestones. Where are you? There we are. This will add just a wee bit of sparkle to our card. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? I like that. Super cool. I think that one needs a bow though. We'll work on a bow in a minute. Now this one here, I think this one here I'm just going to do rhinestones, but I think I'm going to do big rhinestones on this one. Put them in the middle of whenever I have an opportunity to use the large ones, I do, because I kind of like to do them in a triangle formulation. I think this one I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to use these. And I'll put one here. Come on. I got it stuck to the glue bottle. There we go. And I'll put one down here. I'll put another one up there. Something like that. And then again with these ones, I'm going to use these tiny gems. In the middle to add that little bit of sparkle. Just like so. Now this one is done, that one's done. So okay, we're all blinged up, but I think this one needs a bow. And I should have, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't have any granny apple green. I do have, what did I do? I had it a minute ago with that ribbon. There it is. Let's just make a wee bow and see what it looks like. If we don't like it, we don't have to put it on. All right. 1, 2. Let's have a look and see what this looks like. Looks like it needs a little something right there. Yeah, I like that. All right, I need a glue dot or two. Let's get some glue dots on here. There's one. And one on each tail. I can get them. Okay, let's see if I can get this on here without gluing it to myself. Oops. There we go. Zhuzh that up a little bit. And that's going in the wrong direction. There we go. So there is my card. Now, I told you if you stuck around to the end that I would show you another card using the same layout that I made that I'm casing. Okay? So, same card, same layout, different supplies, and I changed things a little bit. I went with the flower theme, so that's one card. This is 2 cards. And our final one is this one. Now, as I'm sitting here looking at these cards, I think that this backdrop thing, if I had it to do again, I would do it in white. I think the white would make the flower pop a little more. But that's hindsight, right? So, my friends, that is my cards for today. I hope that you enjoyed this class. And I hope that you will like, share, and comment. Subscribe to my channel. And I will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.